Stop. Hey, tell me now, what's the deal? Cause you been giving me chills like turn me up, yeah, for real. Girl, like, dang, give me the
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Got another stupid video coming at you. This time it's about wiring, everybody's favorite thing to do. So before I waste any more of your precious, valuable time, we'll just go ahead and get right into the video. So, as anybody who has never wired a car before, the idea of wiring is pretty scary. That's why it's important to first research what kind of wiring you want to do in your car. For me personally, I wanted to go with more stock kind of wiring setup. So I did some research on the Google looking for what kind of brand I should go with, because obviously I'm not going to build a wire harness myself. And I found that American Auto Wire had the best kit for me. Pretty much just plug and play. You have to wire all the clips yourself, but other than that, the harness is already built and it's really simple. The reason this kit is so easy is because it comes with instructions that are simpler than Lego instructions. For me, in my car, I decided to start with wiring the engine bay because that makes the most sense, starting from the front. I first fed the lights and the engine component branches into the engine bay through the firewall, and the lights I just fed straight through the driver's side, go straight to the front, and I put a cover over the wiring so it looked a lot better. And then for the engine bay components, I ran that around the passenger side because most of the components are on the passenger side. This wiring harness has a neutral safety switch connection that you have to hook up, and since I have a manual transmission and I don't want to put a clutch pedal switch in, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the neutral safety switch and the solenoid thing, these two wires right here, and I'm just going to solder them together and the car should just start like it's bypassed. Now there's a few extra wires that are included if you wanted to upgrade a few things. I'm going with a pretty stock setup, so I chopped the wires that I didn't need. The kit comes with two large fuses that I mounted where the old voltage regulator from the alternator went. I wired up all the engine bay components, and then after that I went to wiring up the front lights, and it's really easy to figure out how to light the lights. The wires don't have the connectors on them yet. That's something that you have to do, but if you follow the really simple diagram on the instructions, it's kind of hard to mess up. Next, since I was in kind of a light wiring mood, I just kind of jumped to the back of the car. The rear section of the harness clips into the main harness so that it's easier to feed it straight to the back and it's not just a big mess when you take it all apart. I ran mine on the driver's side rocker panel all the way back, and then the only things to hook up in the back is the fuel sender. That's just one cord that you send to the fuel tank, and then I hooked up the lights. Once again, it's very easy to do if you follow the simple diagram that's inside of the instructions. Now, next section, which is the hardest part of the car because there's the most wiring, is the interior, obviously, because all the wires start from the interior and they run all over wherever the car, and that's where all the switches and everything is at. Where I started at was I first mounted the fuse panel, and there's two screws that go into the fuse panel into the firewall, and the instruction comes with a paper template, so you just mark those out on the firewall, you drill the holes, and then boom, you just screw it right in and it fits perfectly. In the 69 model of the Mustang, there is a lower dash piece that is removable, unlike the 68 and younger, and that meant that I had to grab it out of my scrap pile and clean it up, paint it, make it look all good. Now from here, it's time to route all the branches of the wiring harness and the wires to where they need to be. This kit requires you to take the steering wheel column harness and attach their clip on the end of it, and then to wire up the gauge cluster to the car, there's also a clip that comes with it. For wiring the convertible top switch and pump that's going to go right back there, there is no wire in this kit that goes for that, but there is a wire for power windows, which means that it will be an accessory switched thing. So I'm going to use the power windows wire in order to run the switch, which will go onto this black wire right here. These are the two power wires. I have a diagram right here of the system. The red and yellow wire go to the pump. And also, because my car is a convertible, I had to just cut all the wires that were supposed to go to the dome light in the headliner, because obviously I don't have a dome light in this car. Most of the wiring is done on this car. There's still a lot left to do, but right now everything that works is the heater, the headlights, the rear lights. I haven't tested yet because I'm too lazy to put it all together. I did go with the Phytech EFI system in my car, and I'll show the wiring for that in the next video, but that already works right now. And currently the starter will turn over, but I'm not going to show that in the next video, because in the next few videos I'm going to be getting the car to start, and that's exciting, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, which I really hope you have, either I will find you. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, anything that'll help me find more people, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Summing up another summer weekend. Death rides a horse in my fantasy, taking in the seasons, now while I got them. Hope I'm still pretty when it comes to me.